Hello.
Good morning,
Good
everyone.
Good morning.
Well, I am Jenny, and
I am
this
Tyler.
is Tyler.
Yep.
And we are so grateful to be here with you guys this morning. Just to tell you a little bit about us, Tyler and I met back in 2004 at the University of Delaware. Is anyone from Delaware?
That was like a pity, whew, which is understandable because it's a small state.
But is there anyone from Delaware? Yes?
Really?
Oh, good.
Aw, that makes us
That's
happy.
sweet.
Let's hug after.
We met on a bus that was taking students from campus to a local church, and I remember the morning very, very vividly. Tyler was at the bus stop, and he was wearing khaki shorts and an olive green T-shirt, and he had highlights in his hair. And I thought he was
That was us.
Yes, this was us in college.
That's
Is it up there? I don't think it's
that
up
track.
there.
That track jacket. Yeah, that's why you thought I played
there's no
soccer. I
pic- Oh,
don't.
there it is. Okay.
Um,
But we met on this bus. Tyler had highlights in his hair, and I thought he was really good looking. I guess the highlights worked for him. So I sat behind him on the bus, and he turned around and introduced himself, and we got to talking a little bit. And we ended up getting involved in the same campus ministry. So we started hanging out all the time, leading worship and writing music. And after about 3 months of hanging out nearly every day, we had a DTR and decided that we should probably be dating.
Yep.
And while we were dating, Tyler wrote me a bunch of love songs. And so I asked him to write a song about how we met on the bus because I thought it was kind of a cute story. So he wrote a song and he played it for me. And unfortunately, it just was not very good. So I said, Tyler,
Lyrically,
yeah, it just wasn't, it didn't work.
melodically, it wasn't very good either.
No, it just was kind of bad. So I said, Tyler, why isn't this song good? And he finally confessed that he has no memory of meeting me that morning on the bus. I know.
I don't have a very good memory.
Well, he remembers meeting the guy that was sitting next to me on the bus, but not me. So
That's true.
that was a bit of a bummer. But he did redeem himself by writing some more songs.
Yeah.
And we have been married for 10 years and have 3 awesome little girls.
They want to.
They
That's
wanted to
us
say
getting
hello.
married.
Yeah.
And then I think there's a video of us, or of our.
Of our girls saying hello.
You say hi, Lipstone.
Hi, Lipstone.
I love that.
So that's most of our life.
They're
right
super
there.
cute. It's Jane, Sarah, and Mary.
Yep.
But we're going to play a song that Tyler wrote, or he began to write in honor of my cat, which might sound strange. But while we were dating, there was a cat in my life named Stuart, who I loved very dearly. And Tyler is really allergic to cats. So it became clear that I was going to have to choose between Stuart and Tyler. And Tyler is here, and Stuart went to live with my parents. But we're going to play it for you. It's called One-Eyed Cat.
You gave up your one-eyed cat. Still makes you sad, but I'm allergic.
You gave up trips to the beach. Used to go every week to get some surfing.
You cut back on a daily routine of chocolate ice cream and 3 French presses.
You gave up playing solo gigs to sing with me. We sound much better.
I didn't mind much giving it up, 'cause I got even more of you. Honey, no, I meant it when I said I do. Long as I'm alive, I fancy you. And our love may not look much like Hollywood's, but I love you with all my
heart. I love you with all my heart. You gave me a diamond ring on your knee in a puddle.
You gave me your hand and trust, your very love, and that was crazy.
You gave me your confidence of faithfulness when we're old and wrinkled.
You gave me a kiss and a smile. Yes, I will be yours. So I'll never mind much giving you my love. I'll get even more of you. Honey, no, I meant it when I said I do. Long as I'm alive, I'll fancy you. And our love may not look much like Hollywood's, but I love you with all my heart. I love you with all my heart.
You said I do, so I gave you my heart. And I'll stand by you until death says we part.
Honey, no, I meant it when I said I do. As long as I'm alive, I'm gonna fancy you. And our love may not look much like Hollywood's, but I love you with all my heart. Honey, no, I meant it when I said I do. Long as I'm alive, I'll fancy you. And our love may not look much like Hollywood's, but I love you with all my heart. By grace, I will love you with all my heart.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. Well, a few years ago, Tyler and I began a partnership with an organization called International Justice Mission. And if you've not heard of IJM, they are
How many have heard of them?
Probably a lot of you.
That's
but-
so cool. Did anybody go to Passion? A few people? Cool. Awesome.
Well, IJM, for those of you who don't know, is a human rights organization that works to combat human trafficking and modern slavery all around the world today. They're doing incredible work. In the last 16 years, they've set over 25,000 people free, and they've put over 1,000 perpetrators behind bars. And the way that they do this is they go into these communities where slavery has not been legal for a long time, but is still happening because their justice systems are not functioning properly. So they go into these communities and they set to root out corruption wherever it might be happening, whether it's in the police force or the judicial system. And in doing so, not only are they rescuing people, but they're protecting people from ever being trafficked in the first place, and sending a strong message to these communities, to slave owners, to perpetrators, that they're not going to be able to do this anymore and continue to get away with it. So they're a group of lawyers, investigators, social workers, people who are literally risking their lives to go in and rescue people, and social workers who provide aftercare for victims for as long as they need it. And we really believe in what they do. And it's not even as much about IJM as it is about what God is doing through IJM. A few years ago, we had the privilege of touring with one of their lead investigators, and we heard him, he told us the story about a young man named Gideon. Gideon was a young man enslaved in the fishing industry on Lake Volta in Ghana. Lake Volta is the largest man-made lake in the world. It's 1.5 times the size of Delaware. And thousands of boys are enslaved on this lake in the fishing industry, and they're treated terribly. Many of them can't swim, they're not properly fed, and they're taken from their homes often. And our friend, this investigator, got to lead an investigation of Lake Volta. Obviously, slavery has not been legal in Ghana for a long time, but it continues to happen out on the lake because the police are not equipped to fight it. They actually, the police didn't have any boats. So IJM heard about the problem and went in to help, and they actually had to go to France to get a boat. It was a really big ordeal, and our friend told us about the investigation. He was out on the lake with his colleague, and he and his colleague, what they would do is they would pose as potential fish buyers, go out on the lake, and one of them would speak to the slave owner, and the other would try to interview the boys. And so our friend was at the front of the boat, and his colleague was at the back talking to the boys. And while our friend was at the front, he could see his friend at the back, and his friend was talking to Gideon, and Gideon said to him, "My master is a very wicked man, and you need to take me away from here. I need you to take me." And our friend said he could see Gideon was literally grabbing the shoulders of his friend, shaking him, leaning in, saying, "Take me with you." And unfortunately, they couldn't take Gideon with them at that point. They still needed to gather evidence so that they could actually prosecute and make a case. So they had to leave Gideon behind. And our friend said that his colleague was literally in tears as they were sailing away. But some time passed, and they were able to make a case and form a proper rescue operation with the Ghanaian police. And they went out on the boat, on the lake, and as I said, this lake is huge, and there are thousands of boys. And miraculously, they came across Gideon's boat, and they were able to bring Gideon and 9 other boys to freedom. And we have a little video of Gideon talking about his story, and we'd love to show it to you.
We got Gideon and we handed him over to the police.
Nyakane gidi mechonugo menya piane ne meho melenwa mechi mebube my school na pito menyo ke ebagie ke va tonye le na nye gbo bagie nyima me ba je telegama mele gbo be ma joyi na nye gbo yima ale nye blebe na nye ku eta kem ale nye blebe yima fofonye be e la kpoga ya la va tonye kodui me je FB ne mi na le mi la joyi ye gbo F1 no win. I hope 7. Oh, melon yenya mebe na nanye vi. Me dibe na nanye vi ne va kpele nyetini. Ima ke miji. Ima mi va kpelo amoma we. Ima ni di kwele mebe.
And we show you that video because I think it's so powerful to hear from Gideon personally, to see his face, to hear his voice. And also because it might seem, it's a huge problem. And at some points it seems a little hopeless, but it's not. There's so much good still happening. They've had more rescues out on Lake Volta. So what they're doing is working, and there's a lot of hope there.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, want to call your attention to this verse that I found a few years ago, Jeremiah 22:16. Let's say that together. He judged the cause of the poor and needy. Come on, guys, let's say it together. He judged the cause of the poor and needy. Then it was well. Is not this to know me, declares the Lord. And to give you a little context, this prophet Jeremiah is talking to the son of a great king. The he is referring to that king Josiah. And Josiah, it says he did what was right in the eyes of the Lord. And you can see right there that he judged the cause of the poor and needy. And there's a direct connection between justice and actually knowing God. And we believe that Bible studies, gatherings like this, scripture reading, memorization. There are so many ways that we can encounter God and know God through each other, through the body of believers. But often justice is sort of left to the side, and mercy, or the idea of like goodness and kindness is definitely a more popular, like go help an old lady across the street, or feed the hungry, or clothe the naked, or welcome the stranger. The mercy gets a lot of attention, justice doesn't, and I just want to highlight that in your minds, because it is a way that we can actually know God, encounter God more and more. And so we found out about a lot of great organizations in college. International Justice Mission was one of them, and we found ourselves getting genuinely excited about what they were doing, and we wanted to get involved. And so we would sign up for something. We would go to some event, some concert maybe, and we would say, hey, let me help out. Like, let me be a part of this. And then we found that within weeks, or maybe it was months, but that zeal that we had, like that we were stoked with, that excitement, it fizzled out. And man, we don't want to live our lives that way. If justice is a way to know God, and if it is something that can bring so much life, then let's pursue it. And so we wrote this song sort of as a battle song to combat that apathy in ourselves, that tendency to grow weary, and to sort of be in our own little comfortable bubble. So this is called Faint Not. We'd love to have you guys sing with us on the chorus. And the lyrics are up there. Just goes like this. Oh, my soul, faint not. No, faint not. Oh, my soul, keep up in love. Faint not. So we don't have a whole lot of time, but it's the idea behind this chorus is kind of like how King David spoke to his own soul and said, "Bless the Lord, O my soul," or "Do not be downcast, O my soul." It's the idea of like speaking to the deepest part of yourself, to say, "This is worth it. This is a worthy cause." It goes like this.
Problem's not a gun, not a color, not $100 bill. We think the struggle can be won with simple thoughts like come together, be goodwill. The gap between the rich and poor is spreading out all the more, so they say. We ignore the claims faint not. It's not that we don't know or we're not shown the proof of poverty. It's not that we don't have the tools to go to break this yoke of slavery. We quit because it's not an easy fix and then forget that they are even there. We forget to care. Oh, my soul, faint not. No, faint not. Oh, my soul, keep up. In love. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, let me pardon. Where there is darkness, let the light come, come.
Sing with us on this.
Oh, my soul, faint not. No, faint not. Oh, my soul, keep up. In love, faint not.
Thank you, guys.